Hey everybody, good Friday evening. Welcome inside the studio. Chad Rosemay here with you. And believe me, usually this time of year, I'd be saying I'm happy to be right inside the studio here, the climate-controlled studio where it's dry and no threat of any kind of inclement weather. But I'll be honest with you, I'd love to be outside right now, and I know the guy to my left would like to be outside as well, Randy Waples. You know, there was talk of us possibly doing some outdoor shows, that because we've got a nice new deck platform just outside the studio here. Haven't done that yet, to come, I would say, down the road. But, yeah, this weather has just been ridiculous.
Yeah, if it stays like this there, maybe we'll get lucky and we will get one of those outside shows in. Because they would be kind of interesting, especially, especially like you say, like maybe even like a Breeders' Crown elimination night or something that.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool, because then you could see the horses coming out and, that kind of situation. So it'd be nice.
And you and I, we would sell our souls, to say, let's get this weather to continue for the month of October.
That would be really
right?
good. I thought you were going
to
say that we would sell our souls to be in Lexington today, because that is gorgeous down there right today. And boy,
gorgeous
that's a fast track.
It is a fast track. I mean, everything just sets up great, when they get that. They're getting hot temperatures. We're getting hot temperatures. And it was a fast track last night here as well. And we saw that set up by a couple of very impressive performances at the gold level. So the preliminaries for the golds, last night, that was it.
That's it.
We're all done for it. Now super finals will be coming up a week tonight for the 2-year-olds, a week tomorrow for the 3-year-olds. But this is the first one, and I mean, as I said in the call, she's serving notice that she's back. I mean, I'm not sure she was ever gone. She was just in a little bit of a mini slump, we'll call it, for Chantilly. But physically and everything, man, 25-4 in the end of it, she was awesome.
Yeah, he could never get ahead of her, as what he was telling me there. Like, I mean, it turned into pneumonia.
Yeah.
And he could never get ahead. And that's the problem sometimes, is you got to treat horses with antibiotics. And when horses get antibiotics, because they got to have it with pneumonia, the next thing you know, then they get ulcers. Their stomach gets bad. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, nice to see her back doing what she's supposed to do.
And I love this drive by Dougie.
Yeah.
He made the early move to the front with crack shot. And what he ended up doing is he knows, okay, listen, I got James, who's actually the favorite, in behind me. And we know the lane's not going to open in the stretch. He only starts to drift now because Dougie's like, well, nobody's catching me anyway. Have the inside all you want. But crack shot was awesome. Lifetime best, 49-4.
He's a warrior.
Yeah.
You see him walk out onto the track, and sometimes you're questioning, but boy, oh boy, he gets a fast round into him. He's all racehorse.
Now, just before our card got underway, I mean, history was made at Hoosier. So a 7/8's a fast strip, as we know. But odds on Mr. Mamba, Dexter Dunn down there from Melanie ran. This 2-year-old's been awesome all season long. 47-4, I don't even know what to say.
I don't know what to say.
Fastest 2-year-old ever.
Yeah, I don't know what to say either, but what about the one that's second?
Aaron Stutzman's charge. Dancing Dreamer's been great all year, too, but it's been kind of this pair, with odds on Mr. Mama being the better one. But again, only a length and 3/4 behind.
Unbelievable.
So
where do they find this speed?
So a new world record, 47-4. First time a 2-year-old's ever gone sub 48.
Yeah.
And then it almost didn't last a day. And it was a filly. This was just race number 6 earlier today at the Red Mile. There was a lot of quick miles, but I mean, Lua Deepa.
Way too deep a Chad.
Yes,
way too deep.
You coined that phrase.
Yeah.
And,
and look at the body language on him.
What's Ren even doing? He's not even asking her. And
does
she's gone.
Does she go 47-4?
48.
No, I'm saying, does she go 47-4? I don't even think he pulled the plugs. When she pulled up, I think the plugs were still in her.
I mean, remarkable. I mean,
exciting.
Listen, I've said it. Other people will say it. You hear it more and more that time doesn't matter. It's who you're beating, blah, blah, blah. But it's still fun to watch. And it's still fun to have that on the record. Now, to break down, well, let's start with odds on Mr. Mamba. So he's a gelding. So the world record was 48-3. But he blew all of them out of the water. He's just the fastest 2-year-old ever, period, up to this point. An odds-on Aculeus, who had a lifetime mark of 47-3. He was second in the Metro here early on in his career when John Campbell was driving him. It was a solid horse, but pretty nice to breed one like that.
I will say.
Pretty impressive. And again, watching Dexter's body language there, it didn't look like he was going to the well either.
No.
Necessarily. And then Lua Deepa, I mean, she is just getting stronger and stronger. She's a tank. But that family, so that's the second foal from that dam. The first one, it was
U-Butte? No.
No, but Warwi U-Butte and the sister to this one, Looks Good in Lulu.
Looks Good in Lulu.
They shared the previous world record of 48-3.
Yeah.
So now she's the second foal from this dam. She erases it. Burke's had all the world records with these fillies, but now 48 flat. And, I was on my drive home last night, I'm thinking about the 47-4 effort, and I'm in my head thinking, I know they're getting stronger and faster, it seems, every single year, but that might be something that stands for quite some time. And it could very well, but again, it almost gets, I know it was a filly, but still, she was almost the fastest of all time. Tomorrow you've got Frantic Hanover down there. He's got the ability to go some wicked speed. It's supposed to be hot again. Yeah, it's incredible. It'd be fun to see Bojangles on that clay. I know we're not going to this year, but it'd be fun.
It would be, yeah. Now, when it's all said and done and the dust settles, will Sweet Lou become the sire that sired the most incredible amount of speed in harness racing? Because I don't know of another first-time sire. Not first time, but he's recent, let's say the last, 5 to 8 years or something, somewhere in there. But I've never seen a sire that just everything that he puts on the track, they're incredibly fast. I'm not talking fast. I'm talking incredibly fast, I mean, it's one thing, like what she did there today. It's one thing to go 48, and chop it. That's the other thing. She chopped this. She didn't have somebody doing the work for her. She did the work, Luadipa. It's one thing to do that, and it's another thing to go 48 with the style that she put in there with Ronnie Wren just sitting back on her head right up, ears pricked forward. I'm telling you, Chad, if he turns her loose, I think she goes 47-2.
Yeah, it could very well. And again, with the Turo Colts tomorrow, could see something very special. And then even on Sunday, I know we're going to be recapping some of the fields that'll be out there again. But, I mean, we got to start thinking Lou print. Again, there's a Sweet Lou. And the 3-year-old Colt record, world record, is 46-1. Confederate, who's a Sweet Lou. So, yeah, I mean, he's breeding all of these stakes winners everywhere. But as you say, speed. But what I find, speed with power.
Yeah.
Like that strength and power.
And
know
gait.
What I mean? Yeah,
gait too. Like even sometimes some of them too. And I mean, I always kind of thought that Sweet Lou himself there, when he was going slow, he kind of had this kind of loopy kind of gait. But then once he got fast, holy moly, he just, you could put a glass of water on his back. And I find a lot of his are like that. They go out there and it's like they're half, like just kind of cantering in the hobbles because they all seem to wear long hobbles. And then when they get into their hobbles, holy moly, are these things fast. Yeah. Just scary.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing a bunch of them back up here in a couple
Oh,
of
me
weeks.
too. Me too, for sure.
And if this weather stays,
that would be
we
great.
Can see some more and we've had a ton of track records here this year. So
yeah.
it's been a lot of fun. We've got another replay that we want to look back at that took place this morning. There was a few qualifiers out. So as far as the notables, Windor was a name that we're quite familiar with, a Grand Circuit winner. He's going to be obviously prepping for the Super Finals. Now, when he scratched out of the gold the other night, Tuesday, was that sickness? Or was it transportation? I can't remember what it was.
I can't remember either, but I think sickness.
Yeah, maybe.
I think.
But anyway, so he's getting tuned up ahead of this Super Final, and looks like Dougie's got him tight lined and well in hand here.
He's a smart colt, this colt. Like, I think he only goes in 55. If he'd have wanted to go in 57, it would have been just as easy. But you put him in a race situation, and then you go a mile in 50, he's right there. Yeah. He's a pretty nice colt. He's flew under the radar because of Bojangles. Yeah. Basically.
There's been a lot of nice Cheerios, but again, they fly under the radar because of it.
Right. Yeah. But he's done everything that they've asked him to do. And a couple of times he's even done more than they've asked him to do, because that last stake that he won, can't remember if it was the gold or the...
I think it was the Champlain,
first over effort.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on. He's just a really, really nice colt. Great job done by Vanderkamp and Dougie with him.
Yeah, yeah. And it's a homebred for them.
Yeah.
Too,
amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
Out of his mare Winks.
That's got to give you quite a sense of satisfaction, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I hope they still have the factory at home. It'd be nice to see, a couple of brothers and sisters.
Yeah,
there.
I think he does, if I'm not mistaken. I remember talking to Mike in the wintertime, and he told me he's got a couple of 2-year-olds, and he said, I've got a nice one homebred out of Winks, who, not that she was, one that was a dominant force in here by any means, but one that we remember from racing here. So
yeah. Sometimes the best broodmares are the ones that maybe didn't leave it all on the racetrack. Sometimes, you can get a great broodmare that was a great horse too, but sometimes the best ones are the ones that didn't leave it all on the track. They just come out of their racing a little more healthy, a little more sturdy,
Now, when we look at the cards here tonight and tomorrow, I think it's sort of a preview of what to expect over the next several months as far as Friday and Saturdays. Solid, but kind of missing main stakes action because obviously we've had so many stakes over the past several weekends, especially at the Grand Circuit level, but now we're into our provincial stuff, which now will be next weekend, and then the Breeders' Crown over the next couple after that. But it's sort of a meat and potatoes type wagering card, isn't it?
It is, but it's still a good wagering
solid,
card.
that's what I mean.
Yeah, like even tonight, there's no stake races, but it's interesting, the card. Like you can get through it, find a couple of gems, and if you can get a couple of gems, then those multi-legs, they're not nearly as hard, to take down. All you got to do is just find one or two singles, right, in those sequences, and you can, have some fun with them too. Yeah. Sometimes you might not take it down, but it's kind of cool to go through the night when you're still involved in it, All
right, well, let's dive into it. We've got 10 dashes on the card. We'll be talking a bunch of them here during the pregame show. Randy's got some replays dialed up, including right here in the opener. We see what's going on as far as wagering goes. By the way, nice pick last night on Crack Shot.
Oh.
And I mean, you were probably as surprised as I was at the last click to see how much discrepancy in odds there were.
Yeah.
Because James really got hammered down to like 2-5. Dougie went all the way up to 2-1.
Yeah.
And they never should have been that far apart.
No, you're not going to often get him there.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of other horses in tonight and tomorrow. Same sort of situation. Like I look at Nijinsky. I think you can get a price on Nijinsky. I'm not saying you're going to get 10
to 1.
Is
Louis here tomorrow to drive him?
Yes, he is, and he's Louis' pick. But Calico Jack right back in with the Greek Junior back down on him, and a couple of other ones in there too. So I'm not saying that he's not going to be the favorite, but I don't think you're going to have to worry about like 1-5 or some crazy number like that.
Field of 9 on the trot to kick things off. And there's a 2 group. I believe in Angels we're seen as the clear choice right now. But you want to have a look back at Tricks Up My Sleeve for Team Hater. They had that first-time starter who looked good off a qualifier. Unfortunately, made a break right as the gate got away.
Captain Nathan?
Yeah, unfortunately. So he'll look to bounce back next time. But Tricks Up My Sleeve is one that was just gradually showing improvement. We knew that maybe a win was coming up soon, and now coming in off of that win.
Yeah, I like this one. So let's take a look at the replay on here. Now, Chad, I might have made a mistake in here. So anyway, my numbers are going to be 2, Tricks Up My Sleeve, 4, I Believe in Angels, and I'm not 100% sure if I Believe in Angels knows her way to the winner's circle. I think that she loves playing, the bridesmaid. So I'm going to throw her back in for second. It's not my vault. Maybe went a little light on her. I put her in for third. I think she's racing real good. Here you can see Scotty on the outside with It's My Tricks. He's just going to nail Jody right on the wire, the money shot. And then show me the green, threw this one in on the bottom. The one that I probably should have used, and I really don't know why I missed it until I was just going over my notes in here tonight. I probably should have involved Hadley and maybe even put Hadley up on top, because the reason why I wouldn't go with I Believe in Angels up on top is because I just don't see her wanting to win right now. I'm not saying that can't change. A lot of things can change week to week with these horses, but right now I find that she finds a way to finish second every single week. So she's going to be in for second. Tricks Up My Sleeve, who just knows how to win. But I'm not sure if I didn't go a little bit too light on the 3-horse Hadley. If I had to do it all over again, I think I would have, I definitely would have used Hadley anyway. I think that this could be a really live one in here, but I'm going to stick with the Scotty Young because I know he can trot in 55.
And what we're going to see, we're already seeing it, we're going to see it for the next coming, several weeks, is these grassrooters, especially the 3-year-olds, where their OSS careers are over, basically. Mm-hmm. As far as, that provincial program at 2 and 3, they'll have maybe some Ontario side stuff elsewhere. But so, you're going to see a Hadley in here that now is up against, just these kind of overnight conditions and could on some occasions find this easier, could be prepping for things. Another thing that I always found what was intriguing is when they release those rosters, let's say for the Harrisburg mix sale. Mm-hmm. And a lot of these guys will be dumping their 3-year-olds that maybe their sire stakes are done. They've got them in the mix sale, and they're going to load up for some others. And it's obviously they want to get improving their lines, right?
Yeah,
Up the value.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I just think that Hadley, I should have probably went a little bit deeper in there because she's got late gate.
So you didn't
speed.
use her at all?
Not at all.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, not at all. And I think that that's a big mistake on my part. Everybody else is using her. I didn't, and I don't really know why. I like her in that. I just, for some reason or other, I just kind of glossed over. And when I was looking at my pages tonight, I'm thinking, how did I not use Hadley in that first race? But I'm cool with the pick that I got.
What about Garnett's pick? You've used her on the bottom. Show me the green. She's got a good draw. She picks up Trevor. Last time she was here, I mean, she was getting closer before making the break.
Yeah, no, she looks good in there, and the 6 out of 10 is kind of nice too, because that's the whole, to me, Chad, the whole key in here is the fact that you got to find a horse that will get to the winner's circle. I truly do believe that I Believe in Angels is the best horse in this race. But the problem is, for whatever reason, she always seems to find an excuse not to get her nose out front. So I think that you got to play against the what's probably going to be the big time favorite in here. Does she open? Yeah. What is she, even money opening up?
Yeah.
I believe that you got to play against her.
Yeah. If she's going to be a short price, then I don't blame you for trying to,
That's
see if
what
you can
I
get
think.
someone else to beat her at a better price.
Don't understand why I missed Hadley.
We'll skip over race number 2. We'll head to the 3rd. This, I believe, is our feature of the night based on the purse, 26,000, numbers of 12,000 last 4. Group of 7. Mares are going to line up here. Tyler Jones drives the 3 Yoda Queen. Style for a mile. She's dropping out of the Fillies and Mares preferred. Fillies and Mares, preferred level here versus others that haven't been up there right now. I mean, and based on her back class, I know she's, the last couple of lines, not very encouraging, but I mean, this is a good spot for her to right the ship, isn't it?
Oh, I think so too. The big thing is how is he going to race her and where is she going to get away?
Yeah.
That's the two big things with Style for a Mile. She went through a really, really good run there from about August the 1st. Well, actually, the whole month of August, she was really, really good in that spread. And then her last couple just not quite as good, and not the final times on the end of it either, like going through a little bit of a funk. So I'm going to play against her, a little bit of a stale date. But if there's anybody that can right the ship for Style for a Mile, it can be Maneri.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to give him a lot of props. But
she'll get hammered in here probably, right?
That's what I'm thinking as well. So I'm going to go Sorsha. A horse that I know in my heart is an open horse when she's on her game. Maybe she's not 100% on her game, but John's given her a little bit of a rest. She had August the 15th, she raced, and then back to the qualifiers a month later. And now she has her first start. Let's take a look at this one. She's going to come up with this. And I thought that this was a really, really good start because I thought She's Got It All came up with a real, real nice mile for Zeron and Dougie McNair. She qualifies against Nijinsky, and then she comes up with this nice 2-hole ride. Now, he didn't do much with her.
Too, Dougie, here this night, wasn't he?
Right, yeah. So she didn't do much, but now, she's going to slightly move up in class. But come on, Chad. I mean, non-winners of 12,000 for Sorsha Seelster. If she can't do with these, then, I mean, I'm completely off base. But look at the body language on Bobby here. This is the, you know what I mean? Like, he's not going to catch him. He knows it, but he's much the best of the rest. Easy second. I think she's going to bounce out of that really, really good because, he obviously wasn't going to the bottom of the well. He was going to be second no matter what he did. Smart drive by McClure. So I'm going to go Sorsha Seelster up on top.
And she won't be the first good 3-year-old that struggled to maybe rack up some wins at 4, but then she turns 5, and all of a sudden it's a little easier for her.
Yeah. For some reason, some horses are like that. Some horses, it's weird, they'll come out and have a huge 4-year-old year, but then their 5-year-old year is lacking. And then other ones come out, like you said, have a very average 4-year-old year, but then their 5-year-old year, they're right back to where, they're supposed to be.
And for the connections, I mean, she's going to hold some pretty good broodmare value regardless. Whether they want a breeder and just to have a homebred that they're going to raise, or, if you sell her as a broodmare prospect.
And even that colt that they raced last night that's out of this family, the Bulldog Hanover that Jody drove, he's getting better. He is. That horse is getting better. You know, it's going to take a little bit of time. I think he's a lot like his father. I drove his father the one time, and they asked me about it. I said it felt like driving a Volkswagen with a V12 engine in it. It just felt like his motor was going to rock himself and you right to pieces.
Yeah.
And so it took him a little bit, but boy, it was always there. And I think that 2-year-old that they raced last night, kind of the same sort of situation.
Maneri trains that one?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Went right to the back. I think,
Went right to the back,
right?
yeah.
Fourth race
Scorpion
is where we head
Sealster?
to next.
Is
yes.
that it?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Fourth race to start tonight's pick 6 is where we head to next. Down to a field of 8 now with Cobra Kate and Catch My Passion. I guess they were both long shots on paper here. Cobra Kate had been one that's been getting played lately, but this was going to be a jump up in class for her. We've got Duchess Dale back here after a trip to Lexington. Sangria Summer. This is a rookie that's got to deal with older horses here tonight. When it's late in the season like this, does that bother you as much?
No. And he the only reason that he's still going with her, in my opinion, would be to get her ready for the Breeders' Crown. So let's take a look at Sangria Summer. And I've been a huge fan of her right from the time that she's qualified. I've loved this one. Let's take a look at the elimination of the She's a Great Lady. Now, she's going to draw the 10 hole in the final, never get involved in the race. Trevor did right by her, but she's still going to pick up a 5th in there, and good good time, 51-1 last quarter in 27 flat. But look at this race. I had her on top this night, 32-1. Look at the body language on Trevor in the 2-hole in behind Dea. Dea's going to end up winning this race, and look at Trevor. I mean, he's just about ready to climb up onto the seat with Jody, and just nowhere for her to go. And this is where she finishes all the way down. He taps her a couple of times here, but that was just more or less to see if he was going to catch the 3rd out of it. She'd had enough of it at that point. So then she comes up, like I said, draws the 10 hole in the final of the She's a Great Lady, and against Luadipa. Dea, who, I mean, if you look at that race, I think she beats Dea if she gets off of her back. Dea finishes 2nd in the She's a Great Lady, but she had a good draw to work with.
I thought this filly raced good in the final.
Me too.
Given that she had the 10 hole.
Right.
And look who she was chasing.
Right. So I'm going to go that way. There are some couple sharp horses in here, Chad. Like Lady Freight is really racing good right now.
Yep.
But I look at Sangria Summer as a Grand Circuit horse, and I think that if they get her ready, I wouldn't be surprised to see her come up with a really, really big effort in the Breeders' Crown, and she's going to need to, going back to Luadipa.
And she is Breeders' Crown eligible, although she's still probably going to have to pace a decent mile here tonight if she wants to beat them. I'd want to take that opportunity to win a race like this.
100%.
To get that going into, because it's only going to get tougher for you in a couple of weeks.
100%. And I mean, she does have a nice mark, 53, but I mean, anymore, Chad, 53 is not really that big of a eye-opener,
Yeah.
I think tonight with those 2 scratches, and if she's sharp to go, which I'm sure Kevin will have her, if he goes out of there the way that he did in that elimination, I could see her pulling down this mile tonight in 51 and change.
Now, a quick question on the 5 Bonamy Hanover. Was that simply the drop down that helped her out, or do you think she's maybe, because remember when she was here for Pelling as a 2-year-old, Scott Zeron drove her and she flew home in I don't know if it was an elimination or just one of the Grand Circuit Stakes, whatever it may be, or is this one that's starting to kind of find the groove again?
I don't think she ever really lost the groove. I think she's another one there that's really shy about winning.
Okay.
And that last race, it's a good one. The line looks good. She comes flying on the end of it, finishes 2nd by a neck. But if I'm not mistaken, that Cold Creek Aspero, is that the one that come from last?
Yeah, I think swept
so
them
she
all.
went around her.
All of them, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's the thing. It seems to me with Bonamy Hanover, she always
I'm
seems
trying to remember her trip, though. Was she caught in waiting before she could get through? Or
Yeah, she was caught in,
Okay.
It looked like she had the go in that, but it just seems to me like she's another one that kind of finds excuses on not to win. So I'm going to use her, throwing her in for a piece of it at 4th, but I don't look at her honestly as a win candidate.
Well, she gets Louis tonight, and she gets an opportunity to stay back at this non-winners of 2. So that's the 4th race, starting the pick 6. Races 5 and 6, we're going to skip over. 6th race, by the way, kicking off our late pick 5. Race 7 is late pick 4. We've got a late scratch of the 2, a Sweet Beach here. Judges scratch, take that one out. So was one of the morning line favorites in here. Morning line choice is Coco Jojo. McDonald's back aboard as she drops out of the Fillies and Mares 2 classification into this spot here, which is, I mean, this is a pretty considerable drop down for even from the class that she raced at 2 back. You know?
No doubt about that. I mean, she's gonna be tough in here, and the big thing with her too is you notice there's been many times that James could have picked against Coco Jojo, but he always kind of more or less, unless it's a really, really good one, he pretty well always stays with Coco Jojo.
Well, to that point, I can't remember the last time I've seen James pick against so much more.
Yes, there's
right?
another one.
I know Boris drove her last week, but I don't think James was here.
No,
if I'm not mistaken.
No, yeah.
But yeah, now Dougie's going to drive her here tonight. Got the qualifier as well on September the 19th.
Interesting, interesting. So Coco Jojo, I'm going to go with her in for second. I'm going to try to beat her with Angostura Hanover. That's the replay that we're going to show. Angostura, a little bit shy on the win so far, but my, oh goodness, does she ever race good? And she's not far away from winning a race. So let's take a look at this one. I think she comes up with an incredibly good mile. Problem is that she gets picked off by two really, really good horses. Caviar and Cracker has been unbelievable all season long, just on the top of her game. And as far as Absolution, to me, this is the one that's Johnny on the spot. It took her a while to get to this level, but her speed at this level is really, really something. Now, Trevor, like I said, kind of calling it off at this point with Angostura, but I thought it was a good effort, and she's going to drop from that Fillies and Mares Open all the way down to non-winners of 9,000. I think this is going to be a really, really nice drop down for her. I haven't seen her down this low in quite a while. She does have the outside. We got a scratch of the 2, brings her down into the 8 hole, but I think that if anything, all that's going to do is really, really inflate her price. I think right away your eye gets drawn to Coco Jojo with the inside, and maybe Angostura will be overlooked a little bit. He's got versatile ways to race Angostura. He raced her last week. He can go back to the way he was racing her before, and I think she'll be extra good.
What about So Much More? Because in that first race back, I mean, she hadn't raced since any Cup night. Had a couple of qualifiers, but she's always been one that we know definitely needs that first start. And Tyler ended up bringing her first over late in the mile, but, gave her an opportunity, and, she didn't do, enough. Finished 4th, but from a fitness standpoint, I mean, we have to assume she can be better tonight.
And, coming back to the same non-winners of 9,000 that normally should be all over it. The way I look at it is this: they didn't do a whole lot with her last week, and I've always looked at So Much More, and pretty well any horse that's, say, 6, 7, 8 years old, I find that they need 4 or 5 starts when they've had a break to really, really capitalize on them. So I think 2 things could happen here with So Much More tonight. Number one, Dougie could get her to go an incredible mile because he can get horses to carry speed a long, long ways. Or, maybe if Dougie tries her too hard, the fitness level isn't going to be there. I'm choosing to believe that maybe the fitness level isn't there just yet, so I'm going to throw her in for 3rd.
Okay. All right, that's a look at race number 7, a kick off the late pick 4. Many going the direction of Coco Jojo. Waples says, not for me. I'm going to try and beat her with Angostura Hanover. Over to race number 8, pop-up series action. Leg 1, we've got a couple of divisions of this. So this new one is for Fillies and Mares starters for a purse of $10,000 or less in their last 3, or non-winners of $30,000 this year with a minimum of 10 starts. You've got a group of 7 in this division. Rock Shadow is installed as the morning line favorite. We saw her in the replay we were showing of Chantilly last night, and she was the one chasing her in that qualifier. And it's not that she even needed the qualifier. It looks like Vicky Gregg just decided, well, you know what? We don't have her racing here. She hasn't raced since September 12th. We'll just kind of keep her fit.
Thank you, Vicky Gregg.
Yeah.
Makes our job a lot easier. Certainly with mine. She's going to be my top pick in here. So Cold Creek Aspero was the one that we were just talking about that made the big sweep from last a couple of starts ago. She also got a nice qualifier into her on September the 26th.
Coming out of the same one?
Yeah, same qualifier. You're right.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go Rock Shadow. Let's take a look at that qualifier too with Rock Shadow. Now, the qualifier is nice, like Chad just said, was in against Chantilly. So, it's just a follow along trip, but really he kind of stays with her really, really well. So I think that she, it was a nice qualifier. And then if you look at the start before that where she did win, you look at those two horses that she beat, Chad, Laneside In Control and Eternal Delight, both horses that are right on their game right now.
Eternal Delight was great last night.
Wasn't she?
Second.
Yeah, and this one took them down. So now we got a nice little qualifier into her to keep her tight. Look at the body language on Louis with Chantilly, but look at the body language on Louis Gregg. He's not doing anything either. He's just sitting there with her, going the mile that he wants to go. They go a nice, easy little mile in 53-4. Chantilly goes in 52-1. She goes a nice, easy, wrapped up 53-4. I think she's going to come into this race very, very good, and Travis Henry, going to come back for the ride, and I think he's picking himself up a pretty nice live drive here.
To me, she should be odds on in here.
I agree.
She's been facing tougher than everybody in this group.
Yeah.
She just looks faster than the rest of them.
Yeah.
And, this is a spot where, even though she's likely to be a heavy favorite, in my opinion, and a lot of times we see what happens with a heavy favorite, you get an early move to the front. Mm-hmm. I'm not even sure she necessarily has to do that, but just follow closely. And, I think she'll be able to finish the deal. And no surprise, she's unanimous here in the 8th.
She's almost a free square.
I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be singling her in this spot. That's just based on paper. She should be the best in there. Race number 9, we're going to skip over. We're going to head to the finale, race 10, where we have the jackpot high 5. I thought even with the favorites finishing 1-2, there were some prices in behind. The pool wasn't big. I thought there's an opportunity it might go again, because we know when it gets one, it can get one again in subsequent days, soon after that. But it didn't go. Doesn't mean it can't go tonight, but we've got a carryover of just about 4,700. There's the field that's going to wrap it up. It's one of the bottom level conditions for these pacing mares. Superior Delight. I mean, Superior Delight, she was in those, condition claimers, some of the Prospect Series starting races. I mean, Superior Delight, based on having a price tag of you can buy her with her allowances for $35,000, but she's made up almost 110 this year.
Yeah, I don't know if he's still a stud or not, but if you were to breed Lamborghini Lou to Superior Delight, you can come out with a colt and call it the Overachievers.
Yeah.
Really, Lamborghini Lou last year, racing in the Prospect Series, made over, 125,000, I think, or 140,000 he made last year. This one does the exact same thing, and she comes out with 109,000 and is still not slowing down any.
Yeah.
I threw her in for
She
third.
went some grassroots, I think, a little bit, too.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
She's tough, just about this tall, about as big as a tall shepherd dog, but just tough, really, really nice kind of horse.
Too, doesn't she?
Wears suspend, I mean, the spreaders, yeah. Oh, absolutely. But just she's a racehorse. She knows what it is. I'm going to go Chickabell in here, Chad, and the replay that we're going to show you is going back to September the 12th. With her. Now, on this day, she'd missed, probably 2 weeks going into this. So James wasn't overly tough on her. She went off at 32-1, but I thought a nice effort. Then she comes back 7 days later and she scratched on retention time. And then she's entered 1 day later at Kawartha, where she comes up with a really, really good mile, and then comes back at Flamborough in an optional 25,000 claimer and comes first over, still only beaten a couple of lengths. But this is the last time that James sat behind her. Again, she doesn't do much in here, but look at James's body language too. I think that he's cool with what she's doing. And like I said, she had come into this race off on a 2-week rotation where she hadn't raced, and she's one of them ones, Chad, that again, we're, other than Superior Delight, we're in sort of one of those funky moods where they don't often like to win. Like a horse like Gimme a Corona. I mean, 9 wins out of 34, but it's been a while since we've seen this one in the winner's circle. Chickabell, 6 for 26 this year. We seen her earlier on when Husted's brought her up here.
Yep.
She knows how to win races. She's got the middle of the gate, and she's got James McDonald driving her. She's coming in here with a much better date than the last time that James sat behind her, so she's going to be my play here.
All right, there's a look at the majority of the races on this Friday 10-pack. Waples, as always, putting together some Pick 5 plays, along with, I believe, we've got Kevin Plocha. Yeah, with his early pick 5 ticket as well. So I know you like to see if you can sniff out some singles.
I did.
What do you got? Oh yeah, you got a couple here.
Oh, a couple.
So
but
you're
I
loading
go deep
up
in the first.
I was going to say, were you close to just saying I'm just going to hit the all button?
I was thinking about
Okay.
it. I was really thinking about it there. I'm guaranteed.
At least you got Hadley on
I got
there.
Hadley
Yes,
in there.
there you
That's
go.
right. Okay, so going to go 6 deep in the first, and then I'm going to single in race 2. That's going to be Margot's Got the Cargo. McDonald back on her, hoping that she'll be better. Race 3, it's going to be Style for a Mile and Sorsha Sealster. I think I kind of more or less got it narrowed down. Always Dawn could come up with a big effort, but I think I got it narrowed down. Race number 4, Sangria Summer with the 2 scratches now too. That should make that single a little more appealing. And then the race number 5, I'm going to go Cadiddle and then Vera Cruz on to My Retirement Dream.
Yeah, and another thing that we didn't point out, obviously everybody could figure that out when we showed the scratches, but Sangria Summer, not only do you like her going in there, but now she's got the 6 hole with 2 scratches.
Much nicer,
Right? So now
yeah.
an even better draw. So Kevin Plocha.
Yoda.
Here's
no,
what he's gonna
One
do.
Last Wish.
Okay, so that's
who he's
his single.
singling,
So
yeah.
you're going 2 and 6 there.
Yeah.
So something's got to give outside of a dead heat. But One Last Wish, he's just going to take a stand. And Kevin will do this. He'll take a stand on one that, maybe isn't an obvious one to others and just says, yeah, I'll give it a shot here.
The only thing I would say, because One Last Wish is definitely one of the top ones in here, and I threw her in for 4th, but I think it was last week, wasn't she turned around the last turn looking back at McClure, just locked on a line, and somebody was caught on her back and they had to go around her? I'm pretty sure she was kind of Deadsville
now that
around
you
the
say
last
that, I
turn.
might have been saying she's on a line when she was to the outside.
I think so.
Yeah.
You might want to take a look at that replay there, but I think that she was really, really struggling on that last turn.
Okay, so there's some early pick 5 plays. Again, our early pick 5 guaranteed at $75,000. Red Mile got their second week of Grand Circuit action underway this afternoon. We already talked about some of the fireworks. Another world record was equal, you were telling me, Silverstein.
Silverstein
right? For
raced
Tiro
up here.
Gelding Trotters, yeah. So Silverstein, Memento Mori, equaling that one in, 51 and 4?
51
Yeah.
and 4.
51 and
Gelding,
4.
2-year-old Gelding.
Yeah, so tomorrow there's a bunch more stakes action. I think 2-year-old Colt Pacers and some others there. But then Sunday there's, for the older horses and the 3-year-old divisions that we're going to see. We're just going to sort of look at a couple of them here. We've got Logan Park and Dougie McNair down there in the All-Arage Open Trot. That's a good-looking group in there as well. And a group that can certainly put up some good speed. Didn't Logan Park go sub 50 last year at this time there?
It's funny. I couldn't say that to be
Dexter
sure.
drove him.
Yeah, but I will say that just before you said that, the first thing that popped into my mind is, I bet you Logan Park is going to like Red Mile.
Oh, he liked it last year.
Yeah, I'll bet you.
He certainly did. So good to see Dougie aboard there. I think he's got a couple of drives on the Sunday card. Tattersalls has got a pair of divisions. So these are the Glamour boys. Now, vastly different divisions.
This is okay.
Yeah, and I did look, by the way, I checked out last night, and I think it was closing today, so I'm curious to see what happened. But Banderas was offered for sale on On-Gate.
Oh,
So someone could have bought him, and you could look at this division and say, well, listen, I'm not in the Luke Prince Al Hanover Light Up the World division. I got a shot at this one here. So I'm curious to see what happened there. But that's the first one. The second division, I think we could see some fireworks
this
here.
is an A+ if the other one was a B+.
The weather's supposed to be sunny, flirting with 80 degrees. If there's no wind, Swingtown can put up speed. Prince Al Hanover can put up speed.
Poppy's
Pistol. Lou Print, if he's on his game, which he always seems to be, he could do something real special here.
I wonder who's driving Poppy's Pistol. I'd love to see McNair get another chance at him.
Yeah, he drove him here.
Yeah, and he just jogged with the horse.
Yeah.
Not that the horse shouldn't have won that day, but boy,
Was that in the Any Cup Consolation?
I think it
Is
was.
that what it was?
And when Dougie gets along with a horse, or if you got a horse that needs, some big speed laid down, McNair's a heck of a choice.
All right, and then also on the program, the big events are the Kentucky Filly Futurity for these trotters, field of 11 in here. And I didn't get a chance to speak to Luke Blay last night. I did see he was here warming one up, but again, Lasting Dream, what I would have expected to see her here. So, hopefully everything's okay with her
It could be I mean, we're getting close to the Breeders'
Right,
Crown.
and he
so
might have just said, you know what, instead
don't
of
wanna ship her.
traveling, yeah,
Yes.
I'll stay here.
That's
I'm
right.
picking my spots.
That's
and,
right.
We're
I
going
can
to
always-
focus on a Breeders' Crown.
I can always qualify
Yep,
her if I need to get some
exactly.
speed into
Yep.
her, but we're going to really look to,
Yep.
take down this Breeders' Crown.
Yeah, a good group nonetheless in there. Our Duchess is going to be in there as well. And then the Kentucky Futurity Grade 1 event here for the boys. There's Luke Blais and Louis Bois. Moticon Legacy's got the 10 hole now.
yeah.
Did he have the 10 in the final of the Trotting Classic?
Geez, he might have.
He was outside.
Yeah,
he might have 9. Maybe?
Yeah, it was
Maybe 9 or
definitely
10?
outside, 9
Yeah.
or 10, no doubt about that.
And I mean,
Maryland drew the
I get it.
thing.
There's a lot more run up here to the first turn than there will be there, but
Yeah.
still, he can leave. But you and I both agree this might be a race where he's taking some air
If there's a lot of horses leaving, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's gonna be a long trip for
because he
him.
can't leave and try and duck in and hope you get back out.
No,
right?
no, for sure.
Yeah.
And then the other horse
But
drawn
he's
the
sharp.
trailer,
Yeah.
Maryland.
This I could see a world record.
Yeah, I
right.
could
I think
too.
I think it's 49. I think Six Pack has it 49-1 for 3
Yeah,
years,
I
I
could
believe.
see. I could see quicker mile than that,
Yeah.
especially with the way the draw set come out.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I know what you and I are going to be doing Sunday.
Yeah,
Be some
yeah.
football
was
and some red mile racing.
Yeah, well, I should head up to Casa Rosima because you probably got about 12 TVs there, all big screens there, and you look probably like Elvis Presley had his set up
No,
there.
you and me, I'm in Elmira there. We barely have running electricity, right?
Yeah, okay.
You know that. Yeah, I call you. You give me the updates. Anyways, good luck down here tonight, buddy. Have some fun. Here's Waples Plays, and then I'm going to head upstairs and get set. I'll be out of breath calling that first race.
Thank you very much, Chad. So we're going to start this night off right away in race number 1. That's going to be Worth a Look, Tricks Up My Sleeve. I think we can get a nice price on him. Right now, the 4-horse taking huge support at even money. And I think that this Hadley horse is going to take some support too. So we might be able to get Tricks Up My Sleeve at a price 12-1 right now on him. Race number 2, Margot's Got the Cargo, and that's going to be Waples, Watch, McDonald back on that one. All in is going to be American History in the Pop-Up Series final in race number 6. And Beat the Favorite is going to be Angostura Hanover in race number 7 because I'm pretty sure that probably Coco Jojo will go off as the favorite in there, especially with Angostura having the outside. Garnet, Show Me the Green Spot play coming along in the first race there. That's a good one. I got that one in for 4th, but I might be going a little low on him. Good luck, Garnet. Kevin Plaucha, One Last Wish spot play with her, race number 3. You will get paid with her if she gets there, Kevin. And Ghislaine Coco Jojo, that's going to be my nemesis coming along in race number 7 with Angostura. Ghislaine says, Coco, go, go. I like that. All right, take care, Chad, and appreciate the hanging out with me. And we'll be back to talk to you before race number 1. Stick around.